Hello, welcome to Always Yarn First, podcast that delves into knitting, crochet, spinning, and all things yarn. I'm Lindsay, and I'm coming to you from Central Arkansas. To stay updated on my latest yarn adventures, you can follow me on Instagram and Ravelry as Always Yarn First. Welcome. Today is Wednesday, December 18th. And if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for stopping in and giving me a try. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I'm trying yet another location in my apartment. I am in my living room. I'm sitting on the sofa and we have a little bit of yarny goodness behind me, so this may work better than the bedroom, but we will see. I'm using my iPad instead of my computer. All right, so if you are new here, I name every episode after a song title that either represents my life or my making, my well-being, whatever. And so this week, episode 78, it's going to be Unwell by Matchbox 20, because if you can tell, there's going to be some heavy editing when I'm sneezing. So I work at Arkansas Yarn Co. All the girls got sick last week. I skipped out on it until Sunday. I wasn't feeling great. Monday, I was well enough to go to work. Tuesday, which was yesterday, I felt miserable and just went through like all the flu symptoms in one day and was miserable, never got a fever. And here we are. Today is Wednesday, which is my day off. And it has just transitioned into a sinus head cold. I've just been sneezing and blowing my nose a lot. So we're going to work with what we have, as always, around here. All right, let's get into the podcast. It's probably going to be a shorter one because with advents and stuff, if you've been watching, I have been posting every day. Even today I posted yesterday's activities, which was no videos because I was sick. I just got a few pictures in, basically. But I have posted every single day, and that is here on my YouTube channel under the vlogs playlist. And I have also been taking a picture and posting in my stories of the previous day, all of my yarny advent things. You can follow me there. But I have been working on just a few projects, so this shouldn't be a super long one. All right, so I am wearing no knitted items. But I do have a finished object. So my finished object is not with me, but I will post a picture. It is the Musselburgh, which is by Ysolda Teague, and this was a hat that I made for a customer of Arkansas Yarn Co. He had requested and offered to pay for a hat, so I was making that for him, and I did finish that hat. I played some yarn chicken with that, if you've been watching my vlogs. Some dangerous yarn chicken. And won, thankfully. And he ended up picking the hat up a few days after I brought it into work, and it fit him great. He was very happy with it, so yay to that. I'm glad that one is done. That is my only finished object. I do have two new cast-ons. So, I believe the day after I podcast last, I cast on my monthly Desert Vista Dyeworks socks, my DVD socks for the month, and I have finished one. My sock blocker's back there, but I kind of have stuff all around me. So this is the first one. It is Bamboozled is the color. And ta-da! I'm almost done with the second one. I started at the toe and I've gone through the heel, and now I'm just knitting on the leg. And I think this one I did like 3.5 inches before I started the ribbing. I'm doing the yearly Desert Vista Dyeworks make along, where you have to start and finish a pair of socks in her yarn. and the leg has to be at least 3 inches tall. So I usually do the minimum. I think I did a ½ inch more because I wasn't paying attention, which was fine. So really excited, especially with Advent things and now sick things, that I am ahead of schedule and doing well on these socks. So from my understanding, she is doing this make along next year. So I will say, if you are interested in doing the Desert Vista Dyeworks make along, order yarn right now. If you can find yarn that is in a D-stash from somebody, that's great, because she dyes to order. So what that means is when you place in your order, you automatically go in a queue. And so you don't get it sent out immediately like it's in stock. You get in a queue for when she dyes it and then sends it out. So it just depends on how much she has that she needs to dye. But it may take a while. So if you want to get in on the make along, then make sure you get some yarn ASAP. But it is a very generous make along. I don't know if she still is going to be using Instagram because the hashtags have kind of gone weird now. But for me, she has a Ravelry group, and you go at the beginning of the month and you post in the certain thread a picture of your yarn that you're using for the month. And then by the end of the month, when you finish your socks, you go in that same post, you edit your previous comment and add the picture of your finish. So you have the picture of your yarn, and then with the picture of your finished object in the same thread. And you have to do that by the end of the month. And if you do 3 months, I think you get a discount code. 6 months, you get your choice of any skein of yarn you would like for free. 9 months, you get another discount code. And then at 12 months, you get another free skein of yarn, which she dyes a specialty colorway just for those who have finished the year-long knit along. So excited about this. Okay, so I have a second cast on, which I just cast on this morning. I have been wanting to cast this on for a week, but I am using, this is Arkansas Yarn Co. This is from the Sock Yarn Society of this year. This was the February colorway. I can't remember the name of it, and I don't know where I put the tag, but I know it was February. And this is the high twist base, which unfortunately she is no longer going to be doing the high twist base for the 2025 Sock Yarn Society. But I have the whole year, and I've been keeping them for when I want to design something. And I had an idea I wanted to play with, so I just cast on. So I'm kind of doing like a faux cable ribbing right now. I am planning on these to be mitts. However, it is the same amount of cast on as I do for socks. So it could be mitts or socks, but my plan is mitts. So this is all I have there. No name, just a design idea, and we'll see if it even comes to fruition. But I am just playing with it now. So yeah, that is all my cast-ons. All right, I have 2 whips. So the first one, again, if you've been following me on my vlogs, I am working the Woolens and Nosh. So today is the 18th, and I am through color 18 on both socks. I love these Woolens and Nosh, and I love that this year everyone's sock is different. Now I'm not positive if the order itself is different or it's just the same order for all of them. It's just where everyone's starts is different. I'm not positive, but there's no spoilers because you may not even have this exact same one that I had. So I did start with the cuff with the mini skein that was provided. I cast that on before Advent, so last podcast I had that cast on. But I have been keeping up to this every day, even yesterday when I wasn't feeling well. Sometimes I do admit, after I take my daily picture, like after this podcast, I have an online meeting here. I may do tomorrow's stripe. I always do just a stripe at a time, but I've been posting it up to date. So this is through day 18, and I'm loving these so much. And that brings me to my last whip, which again, you saw last time, but I feel like I've made quite a bit of progress. Now, this is my test knit for MC of Blame the Knots. And I can't remember, I'm pretty sure last time I had the 2 panels. So if you see this garter, basically rectangle, I had 2 of those. That's what I started with, is just 2 rectangles. Then these stitches got put on hold. So this is real interesting for me. Putting these stitches on hold, but yet picking up stitches. So I just had these 2 different like pins. One Lori brought me from the North Texas Yarn Crawl, and then one is from our weekend with friends retreat. So I picked up stitches, and here's where I'm at. I know it's kind of curling right now, but so right now I'm just going to be knitting to length till I reach a certain length from this edge here. So now it's just basically stockinette. Knit on one side, purl on the other side. So yeah, this has really been great. I feel like I'm repeating myself because I've been doing vlogs, but this is really good for me right now because my brain has pretty much been able to just handle easy knitting. So that's why I haven't started that design for a while, even though it's not hard. Today was the first day, even though I'm still sick, that I had like the mental clarity to cast it on. But I've been doing my vanilla Woolens and Nosh socks. I've been doing my vanilla DVD socks and doing this. Pretty much has been my knitting. So like I said, I was glad I picked up the stitches because like the first day I tried to read that and I'm like, what now? Then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. And thankfully I got to that point before I had sick brain, because then I can still just pick this up, knit and purl. This one is due the end of January, I believe. So I do need to spend some more time on that one. All right, so that is all of my knitting. It has not been a lot, but I have been very satisfied with what I've gotten done. But let's briefly talk spinning. So I have been spinning mostly every day my fiber advent. And before I show you what I've spun, I gotta show you, so I'm 3 days behind. That's including today's. But look at these next 3 colors I have. This is, I guess this is 18th, 17th. So this is the 16th, 17th, 18th. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. I just had them lined up on my sofa so I know to do them in order. I have been using my Daedalus Sparrow, my e-spinner, and I've just been spinning in order. It has been beautiful, and I've been doing 5 days per bobbin. So here's what I have. So this was the first bobbin I finished, days 1 through 5. So it's a lot of blues. It's kind of hard to see. And then of course this one is day 6 through 10. And then this one I just finished yesterday, so that's through 15. I love these so much. The problem is I have no clue how I'm going to apply them. If I should apply them with themselves or if I should think of spinning more of a neutral color, applying with that. So kind of like the rainbow shines through. Ugh. I don't know what I'm going to do. So yeah, I have 2 more empty bobbins, and that's not including, I guess I should wait too, because I do have a day 25, like a full, I guess 4 ounce. And this is all BFL that I am spinning on, and it's been a delight. It is from Fiber Nymph Dyeworks. Highly, highly recommend. Okay, that is it of spinning. Look at, we're 16 minutes in. All right, all I have left is a few acquisitions. I told y'all this was going to be a short one, which is okay. All right, I do have a few acquisitions. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself because I have shown these on vlogs. Okay, so the first one I have for acquisitions is this. Well, actually, I'm going to show this one first. So this is yarn I had gotten. I mentioned it, I think, the last podcast that I had ordered it on Black Friday. This is from Knitty McPurly. And this was a set. I mean, look at those colors together. Come on. These are so good. This is her 2025 Christmas bundle. This is in the colorway Candy Pop. So it is 100% superwash merino. I got the 5 full skein set. So each skein is 100 grams, 463 yards. So total yards is 2,315 yards. And I just feel like they need to go together. I don't know what they will be. But until then, they're just going to stay wrapped up nice and together. And they will be Candy Pop eye candy behind me. So good. Okay, so I'm going to do these two kind of together to talk about, I have talked about this many times, so if you've been here a long time, you've already heard me talk about this. So how I keep track of my knitting, I like to have 2 books, calendars, journals, whatever you'd call them. I have kind of like a basic calendar, and where I write down in the calendar each day what I have worked on. So like this is, so in here I would write, you know, so today I've worked on my Advent socks. I cast on my design, and I worked on my DVD socks. So that would all be written just in here. And I also kind of keep track of how many FOs, finished objects, cast-ons for the month I have, yarn skeins in, yarn skeins out, and if I what goals I have for the month. I have them right here. And this just kind of gets put on my desk. I write in it every single day, and I write in it when I podcast. So like today, I put podcast after this, and that way everything after that point, even today, after I write podcast, I will know I need to talk about the next podcast. So I really liked the calendar. You know, I've had like bigger journals, bigger calendars, but this last year I got a Rifle Paper Company calendar from Barnes & Noble. And I thought, well, maybe the dates are kind of a little too small because I have like big handwriting. And it's been perfect. So I went and got another one. So this is 2025. And this does, I mean, you can use it as your planner and everything. You can have a little year in review, of course. So I already have this written in for January. So that's what I put. FOs, COs, yarn in, yarn out, goals. I'll keep track of that, and then I'll write in here. But it does have, you know, like you could break down your week. You have your notes, your to-do list. You could write in there. Sometimes I do, but I find that for that kind of stuff, I usually use my Google Calendar, my electronic So I don't usually write it also. So I pretty much use this just for that calendar page. So it's great that it's kind of simple, not a lot of fuss. Then I like to keep a book which I need to catch up on because I don't think I've done this since I have moved, where any finished objects, I take my photo and I print it out on a little sticky paper printer I have, and I put it down and I put the info, kind of like a more detailed visual what I finished for the year. So I don't even know when I ordered this, but it has been months and months ago, and I got it maybe a week and a half ago, something like that, obviously since the last podcast. But I had ordered this. It's called My Year in Yarn, and this is from Summer Day Crochet. So this works whether you're a crocheter or a knitter. So it says a bullet journal and project log for knitters and crocheters. So I'll kind of walk you through it. Again, if you've been watching vlogs, I kind of already did this. So we have your calendar, and then it has a vision board for the year. And then this is like the monthly page. So it has, to-do lists, if you want to buy a certain yarn. It has habit trackers, if you want to do that, up to 6 items. Monthly goals, how I want to feel this month, ideas, inspirations. So every month, and number of finished projects, where it has you color in the yarn balls, depending on how many projects you finished. So every month it has that, but it visually looks a little bit different, but it has the same things, which I think is neat. So it's the same exact things every month, but it just looks a little different. I love, 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 love that. So those pages are all next in order. There is a little bookmark. All right, so after those pages, there is a year-end review, and then your triumphs for the year. And then it even has your vision board for 2026. Then it has a section called Lists and Inventories. So it says works in progress, things that you started, decide to come back to later. And then it's like you can color in a existing whip you had. And then it has inventory things like yarn stash, which I won't use because I use Ravelry for that. So a few pages of that. Supply inventory, supply wish list, you could use that. Pattern database, again, I won't use that. Pattern wish list, maybe. This one has a handmade gift list. So this might be good if you're kind of planning out your year of things that you would like to make for people. You could start making your list here. And then we have the project logs. So this is what I was interested in because, like I said, I like to have a project page just in a notebook or whatever. So I love these. So completed project log. So it has the name, start and finish date, who you made it for, the pattern info, the yarn info. You can do a little sketch. That's where I would print my picture and put it in here. You can put it in any notes. How would you rate it? How did it make you feel? So that page again is the same thing, but just like a little bit of different drawings or whatever. But my problem with that is I would pay for this book if it was just filled with that. Not that I'm an epic knitter where I have like 100 finished items, but I think I'm at least 45 for the year. There is only 30 of those completed project logs because that was what I was very interested in, so I counted those. So there is only 30 of those pages. Now after that, there is another section called Notes. And what's nice about this is this pretty much is the rest of the notebook. On one side it's line paper, on the other side is grid paper. So you could continue your project pages here if you wanted to. It comes right after, you know, that project log right here. You could just keep continuing, which is probably what I will do. But you could also, if you have a pattern design idea, you could write notes in the line section and kind of draw it out in the grid paper, which would be another good use for that. And I feel like, well, I may have miscounted. I tried to do that quick, but there's like 13 where it has the double pages of that. So, but yeah, I thought this book is really neat, and I have gotten in the past other knitting or crochet or project logs, and I really love this one. So we'll see how much practical use I get out of it after the new year and I start actually using it. But that is by Summer Day Crochet. And last I had looked, you can still go on her website and order those. So yeah, that is it for my making. It has been just a few projects. I have been dying to cast on. A few episodes ago, I talked about there's 2 sweaters I really wanted to make during the cooler months. I really want to cast on. I have so many whips. That doesn't matter because honestly, when the time comes, I'll still probably cast on because these certain yarns I wanted to use in the colder months because I knew I would not want to knit on them in the warmer months, which is what it comes down to. But yeah, not feeling great today, but definitely feeling better than yesterday. But it is the season of sick, unfortunately. The weather has been crazy. I think Monday I went to work and like it was gray outside, but like I couldn't get over how warm it was. Like you did not even need a jacket. It was not cool at all. It was in the 60s. But I think tomorrow or the day after, like the high's supposed to be 40. So, I mean, it's one of those, it's like usually like I have this cold all season long because you get better and your body's like, oh, what's the temperature now? And you walk outside and it's totally different. So it is what it is. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so, so much. And I will see you next time in 2 weeks. Bye.